Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, the cartoons I watched were SpongeBob, Ed and Eddie, Powerpuff Girls, and Courage the Cowardly Dog, and a lot more to say the least. I've never thought of the existence of Japanese cartoons, much less cartoons being different overseas. I I thought we all watched the same thing. But one day, my dad stopped by, and he took the remote for our Black Jarrell cable box. Yes, you know the one. And he put on this thing called Toonami. And this thing called Dragon Ball Z started to play. That right there was my first introduction to anime. And you wanna know something? I wasn't alone. My mom never really paid much attention to the cartoons I watched. I mean, as long as they weren't inappropriate, she didn't really care. But Dragon Ball Z? She loved it more than either of us. I mean, religiously. Whenever I got home from kindergarten, she'd put on Dragon Ball Z without even me asking. And when I started to get homework from school and Dragon Ball was on at the same time, she'd let me watch that first before I even touched my homework. So you know she really just wanted to watch it for herself. And that was the start, right? My dad got my mom and I into Dragon Ball Z. I got my dad and my mom into Naruto. And my mom got my dad and me into Bleach. It was a beautiful system. When I was 7, I made friends drawing people with Super Saiyan 3 hair and Saiyaman tunics like it was the only thing I knew how to draw. And for a while, that was the only thing I knew how to draw. When I was 8, my school had this publishing program where we would draw, write, and publish our own children's books. Mine was about 6 kids getting elemental powers and getting thrown into multiple buildings. By the time I was 10, Naruto had a chokehold on me, but like, Dragon Ball Z did not leave its influence. Now, fast forward to 12-year-old me. I was visiting my dad out of state, and he was telling me all about his favorite game called Final Fantasy X. And I've seen him play JRPGs before I even knew what a JRPG was, but I wasn't really interested in picking up Wild Arms 3 once he was done with it. I was more into, Jak and Daxter, Maximo, Sly Cooper, Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi. But still, he gifted me his copy after I played it for a little bit, and uh, still wasn't eager to play something where I had to wait for my opponent to hit me before I can hit back. But I told him I'd give it another try. Once I got settled back home and emptied out all my suitcases, I opened up the Final Fantasy X case, and Dragon Quest VIII was staring back at me. I don't think I'd ever touch a Tales or a Persona or even a Kingdom Hearts game in the future. I don't think I'd ever even have a true appreciation for storytelling and gaming if I never played Dragon Quest VIII. And the only reason, the only reason I gave it a shot was because it looked like Dragon Ball Z. Because Akira Toriyama was staring back at me. I have many inspirations to the art I make today and the art I want to make in the future. I've been exposed to so many amazing stories over the years that have made me want to contribute to the never ending treasure trove too someday. And when I look back at everything, n- nearly all my biggest influences, they traced back to Akira Toriyama. So, thank you, Mr. Toriyama. Thank you for everything. I hope you rest well. Goodbye.